Well, Cam, how you doing being back out here another year in Spartanburg?
Doing good. Doing good. Everything's going good. Um, just at this particular point in camp, everybody just trying to find ways. You know what I'm saying? From bodily to mentally, um, and I mentioned it even with being physical. You know, we've all been working out extremely hard, but now being out here for as many days as we've been out here, you got to combine the mental with the physical as well.
Who's stepping into that Thomas Davis role, kind of get the defense juiced up a little bit and kind of countering some of the offense?
It's a lot of um, collective group that's doing it. We have so many different leaderships, or I should say, so many different styles of leaderships. And one thing I've learned, especially about this league, is you can never replace certain players, especially when you mean so much like 5'8" meant to us. But at the end of the day, we got to turn the page. You know what I'm saying? He is where he is, and we are where we are right now.
Laura said you're quieter this year. Is there more of a focus and concentration on just getting out there and being healthy again, or what?
No, you just got to grow, man. And half of it is ain't nobody talking to me, so shoot. But at the end of the day, you got guys. I see, Bruce is finding ways to get us going offensively. I realize Gerald, he's only game ready. You know what I'm saying? He don't really talk in practice. Luke is obviously Luke. But at the end of the day, it's not necessarily about that. I understand what my job and my role is, and making sure that we got a lot of shoes to fill, and we're capable of filling them. It's just up to me to make sure that everybody's doing that, as well as other guys doing that as well.
Cam, how would you assess the process? I know Norv has kind of tweaked your throwing motion a bit. How has that gone, and have you seen some results?
I mean, it feels good. The transition has been good. Still a work in progress. And like I said, it's every NFL player can contest to this feeling right now, where you can try to simulate what it's going to be like in training camp until you're out here, you're hot, you're frustrated, you're away from your family. Not only that, what I'm saying, you may have a bad play, the frustration of the coaches screaming down your neck, but you still got to respond. And you can't mimic that in the off season, no matter how many times you work out, no matter how many different drills that you try to put yourself through. And that's where we're at right now. We get a chance to keep watching ourselves on film, from the practice film, and just finding ways to keep getting better, and that's where I'm at.
Cam, you were so clearly frustrated at the end of last season and some of the restrictions that were going on with the shoulder and everything. How does it feel just being able to be a little bit more like yourself now and sort of embracing that?
Like I said, it's still a work in progress. Still a work in progress. You gotta. I think one thing that I wanted to work on that's simple is just being honest with myself. Knowing when my body's talking to me, knowing that it's okay to may sit out of practice, focus on what I'm saying, the body. I'm at a point in my career now where I'm as hungry as ever, but I have to be as smart as ever as well. Doing certain things just to get the feel may not be the best kind of theory about it. You know what I'm saying? And I know now guys like DJ, guys like Kirko, and everybody else that's on board on the offense, is needs me to be my best self. So, my best self may be, taking care of my body in ways that the field may not possess.
Has it been difficult?
Cam, we've seen you throw some 45-yard passes downfield. All the fans are getting excited about that. Do you feel like there's any limitations right now with that shoulder? Or do you feel like are you full go with it? And
No. Like I said, I feel good. But the funny thing is I haven't been working on that in the off season, to be honest with you. And you just try to get back into the throwing motion. Obviously, it's been everywhere. It's throwing different. Compact motion. But throwing small helps your technique. You going in the gym to start shooting threes doesn't necessarily help your technique of shooting. the closer you are to the goal, that's in theory the more short intermediate passes that you can work on, making sure your body transferring is A1. That's been my main focus. So now when I came, when you come out here and you got 9 routes, you got big ace, I haven't been necessarily trying to perfect those things, but that'll come over time. And when you got guys, that the guys that we got, you just got to put it in the vicinity. And I think that's more exciting than anything, seeing, how guys react to the ball in the air and making plays.
Yeah, what was the feeling like when you kind of, on the first night, you see Curtis Samuel breaking open deep and you were able to kind of uncork one and the ball goes exactly where you want it to go?
It's a process. It's a process. And I think it was a sign of relief, for a lot of people, because I wasn't right at the end of the season. And it was even a sigh of relief from myself as well, being able to throw like that again. But like I said, it's a process. I don't want people to just assume, oh, Cam's back. I'm doing a lot of work behind the scenes to make sure that I'm able to practice, and the practice that and the capabilities that I know I can and this team expects me to be. And I'm just so glad to see, outside of myself, the team and how it's responding. DJ's had a great practice, had a great camp up to this point. All the receivers, Janky's playing unbelievable. Chris is bringing his leadership ability in that room. Torrey battling back from his injury. You're seeing flashes from him. And I already mentioned Kirk on the young guys have those guys to look up to, and C-Mac still C-Mac. And then, you still have, Mr. Reliable, and he's upholding his end of the bargain too. So, it's all a collective group of guys coming together, and the offensive line gaining confidence each practice as well.
Cam, you've had to be so in tune with your shoulder and your body and your physical health for the last couple of years, and at times it seems that it's been an emotional process for you. So I remember we talked about your body prayer last year and different types of things.
Right.
What has it been like, kind of weathering that for the last 2 years for you?
It's a different stress. It's a lot of times you just got to get out your own head. You know what I'm saying? And, when you're hurt for so long, you've just been telling yourself, just do it. And as football players, our mantra is just big macho men going down the field. Never show signs of weakness, never show that you're hurt, and then you're doing it, but you're not necessarily making things better. We do hurt, we do have pain, and pain for me is different, maybe different than pain to somebody else. But, throughout it all, where I'm at now, I may feel certain things, and my mental may say, you're hurt, but you're really not hurt, because you've been hurt for so long, you don't know what 100% feels like. So I think that's one of the main things now. And, like I said, I keep saying it, it's a process. And a lot of times, sometimes it's easier than other times, but at the end of the day, you just got to keep moving forward, being obedient to, coaches and trainers and everybody that has your best interest, and knowing that, just follow the plan.
You
Okay, so
mentioned
switching
being
gears a
honest.
little bit. You said that you were the unassigned swag coach.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you working with the young guys at all?
I'm trying. They got so much going, from lifestyle changes, being in the NFL. I could give my snippets, but I'm a coach that leads by example, as you can tell. You just look at me, and then I can show you the way.
So you say you're not Superman anymore. You don't have to be Superman anymore. What's that say about where you are in the stage of your career?
I don't know. That's a broad question, but I just want to win, man. Just want to win, as a lot of people say and do, but I want to win. We're past due for South Carolina and North Carolina to have something to brag about, right? And we're going to start by perfecting ourselves and perfecting the things that we can control. And we want this division back, and that's why we're going as hard as we are. And collectively, we got to hold each other accountable.
Cam, to that point, when you see the organization that went out and got Gerald McCoy and Rooster, and then as recently as today with Trey, I mean, what your reaction and what does that say about?
I just try to uphold my end of the bargain. I don't tap into personnel things. I don't tap into draft picks. I don't tap into, you know, why are we doing certain things. You know, Marty gets paid a reasonable amount of money. Coach Rivera does the same thing. We already know what Mr. Tepper is worth. And I keep those guys, and I trust them in the front office knowing that they're doing exactly, you know, what's best for this group. And for me to be able to say I'm doing what's best for this group is being able to uphold my end by taking care of myself first, and everything else falls in line.
And what do you think about the weapons around you this year?
What do you mean?
Curtis Samuel, McCaffrey, all the guys that you get.
Everybody's coming into their own, and that's what you like to see. You know, nobody's trying to step on anybody's toes, and you know, it's kind of it's intriguing to see the relationship between, you know, Kirko and Denniston. You know, and in a league where ego is everything, right? We all know that, and you know, those guys, I think they're young enough to understand that, you know, it's a matter of time until my number's called. And I think Norv does a great job with stimulating the play calling that favors, you know, both sides. So, you know, as long as those guys keep playing at a high level, it's going to make my job easy, and it's going to, you know, put a lot of pressure on opposing defenses. Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
man. Thank you.